Good afternoon from Hill the City. I'm Pastor Margie Gonzalez. Want to just take another 5 minutes here. We want to do our Take 5 segment for the week. And today I want to speak on Psalm 37 verse 4. It says, "Take delight in the Lord and he will give you your heart's desires." So to take delight basically means to find pleasure, to find gratification or extreme satisfaction in something or in someone. And we all have things that give us pleasure, but this verse encourages us to find pleasure in God. It's not that we won't find pleasure in other things or in other people, but it's simply that our primary delight, our primary pleasure should be God himself. So the first part of verse 4a says, "Take delight in the Lord." I love this verse because this verse teaches us the importance of finding pleasure in God. If you've ever been in love, you can attest to the fact that you enjoy that person's company. You can't get enough of them. You love everything about them. You simply enjoy being with them. You don't have to go out and spend all sorts of money because you simply value time with them more than anything else. And the same is true when Jesus is your first love. You become consumed with Jesus. You begin to delight with who he is. You begin to delight in his presence, not just for what he can do for you, but because you begin to love Jesus because he's Jesus. And so you begin to desire his presence in your life more than anything that this world can offer. And you begin to look forward to time in prayer, to time in worship, to time in meditation, to time in his word. Because that's how you're able to spend quality time with him. That's how you're able to dwell in his presence, as Psalm 91 tells us. And so the more you grow in your relationship, the more you fall in love with him, the more you delight in him, and the more he becomes your priority. He becomes the one your heart and soul delights in. Next part of this verse, 4b, says, "And he will give you your heart's desires." Let me read that all together. "Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you your heart's desires." See, if you read this entire verse with nothing more than a passing thought, you might get the impression that because you love Jesus, he will then give you all of the things your heart desires. But that's a very superficial interpretation. The truth is that it doesn't really work that way. The truth is that as you delight in Jesus, you are being transformed. Your desires are changing. Now think about it. When you spend time with the people that you most delight in, you begin to share their interests. You begin to like the same types of food. You begin to kind of walk the same way the other people walk. You begin to act like them, talk like them, eat like them, all of these things. You begin to look like them. And so you start looking alike. It's the same with Jesus. You know, when you're hanging out with your crew, you start liking the same things. Again, the same thing is true as you're growing in relationship with Jesus. As you're growing, he is transforming you. As you're spending time with him, you're becoming like him. And all of a sudden, you're going to find that you like the same things Jesus likes. You want the same things that he wants. See, God causes your desires to begin to line up for what he wants for you. And the things you thought you wanted, the things you thought you had to have, the things you thought you desired, actually become insignificant. And as you fall more and more in love with Jesus, you're soon going to begin to love the things he loves and hate the things he hates. As you delight in the Lord, your desires will then become aligned to the will of the Father for your life. So I need you to get this. It's not that you get the things you thought you wanted. It's that now you and God want the same things. Why? Because he has been your first love. Because you have delighted in him. Let me say that again. It's not that you get the things that you thought you wanted. It's that now you and God are on the same page. And so you're actually beginning to line up with the heart of God. See, delighting in God means being satisfied with what he wants for you. Nothing more and nothing less. But you need to understand that who and what you delight in, who and what you take pleasure in, will determine the desires of your heart. So it's important to take pleasure in the right things, in the right people, or should I say the right person. And so today, learn to take delight in him. And the question that I want to end with is, who or what are you delighting in? Because that's going to determine your heart's desires. God bless.